Hello, LinkedIn Live, and welcome to our live today. And today I have someone who I truly find amazing. Hi, Jordan. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm wonderful.
You are. I
I
consider
am.
you. I consider you a friend, an expert, just a super cool lady. My entire team likes you. You and I met on LinkedIn, which I love. And basically, Jordan, you're an accomplished ed tech executive with experience in scaling organizations. You worked in public, you worked in private. You have a powerful combination of really understanding almost all the sides. So I know, like me, you're a marketer at heart, but right now you basically just got promoted to be the chief business officer for General Assembly. You've been a COO, you've been a CMO, you've been involved in M&As. You have accumulated so much experience, yet you still look 25, which is amazing. Okay.
Oh, this is the best day ever. Keep talking. I like this show so
That's
far.
that's the recording for you to clip it for later. Um, no, seriously, you are truly a kindred spirit. I feel like I love our texts, our email. We help each other. We don't even have to ask. You're such a, there's a word in kind of like the Jewish world, mensch. You're just like you're awesome. I truly enjoy every engagement, every interaction we have, and now we have you here to educate everybody. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about maybe a General Assembly and all these amazing things you've done, and let's start the conversation.
Oh, well, thank you. What a intro. I appreciate all of that. So yes, I am Jordan Hathaway. I am currently the Chief Business Officer as of this week, by the way. So what a great way. Yes, thank you. I'm so incredibly proud to work at General Assembly and alongside everyone else who is doing this extraordinary work in the talent solutions and upskilling and reskilling industry. I have been in education technology for quite some time. Prior to this week, when I was the chief business officer, I was the chief marketing officer. I am a lifelong marketer, as you've said. I made that decision in third grade, which we'll talk a little bit about shortly, and we'll tell you more why I've sort of camped out in the education and upskilling and training space. So happy to spend time with you today. And to your point, it's fascinating who you can meet on LinkedIn, and people who are advancing the practice of both marketing and just talent development in general.
Absolutely, and you got to go out there, and you'll meet some, you'll kiss some frogs, right? Not everybody's created equal. You'll find some people that just want to take advantage. Before we go on, there's a bunch of comments here. Hey, Brett. Hello, Muhammad. Hello, Elise. Hello, Numan. Hello, Brett. Congratulations to Jordan, Hamad, and hello, LinkedIn users. Uh, this LinkedIn user knows this young woman. I'd love to connect with you so we know who you are, but thank you everybody for coming in. So, Jordan, you have a story to tell. So, first, I want you to share a little bit about General Assembly, if that's okay with you. You guys are the leading reskill, upskill. You do so many things. And then I really want to dive into your own personal journey, which is fascinating. So, tell us a little bit about General Assembly, how you help companies, and you guys are truly the leader in this, new economy.
Yeah, thank you for that. General Assembly has been around since 2011, and we are one of the, I'll say it, we're the OGs, one of the pioneers of the boot camp space. And when we first set out, it was really a focus on the individual who was looking to upskill or reskill and take one of our short courses. And we do this through boot camps and short courses and webinars and free classes and all sorts of things. Well, fast forward, and as anyone who is paying attention at all can see, there's been tremendous change in the tech sector since 2011, right? It's moving at an incredible pace. And General Assembly has continued to just meet the market where it is. And so now, fast forward to where we're at today, and we serve many, many more beyond the individuals. In fact, we are really mostly serving at this point employers and governments who are looking to upskill and reskill their constituents or their employees as a method of being able to retain. And there's so many reasons on why it's incredibly important and incredibly valuable to look at your current workforce and see as an employer or as a government entity or a workforce organization on what it will take to reskill your current employees. There is not a lack of people who are ready and willing to take the next evolution of where their career needs to take them. And it's fascinating to be part of that overarching industry so that you can prepare the workers for the future of work, which, by the way, is happening as we speak, right? I'm the future of work. You're the future of work. Every single person who is on this call right now is the future of work. And I guarantee every person here, from the copywriter, I see there's a copywriter, shout out, an email marketer, we're all looking at ways today to do our jobs faster, better, more efficient, at scale, all of those things. And we need the tech skills that are the catalyst to help us get there. So I don't think there's a role that is untouched, but particularly in the tech sector where we focus.
Absolutely. And we'll dive into AI. But before we do that, can you define for us what is reskilling? What is upskilling? I know this, of course, you know this, you can teach on this, but I don't know if people really understand. And for us leaders that really care about our people and want to give them all the tools, what is upskilling? What is reskilling? And when is that appropriate to do?
Yeah, so when we talk about skilling, we are literally talking, I'm going to use the most simple, basic terms there is. Going from, I don't know how to do something, to on the other side, I am now proficient in being able to do that. And I can prove that I'm able to do that, whether that's through assessments, apprenticeship. Now, of course, I just simplified the heck out of it, right? But skilling is about acquiring not only the knowledge and the theory, but the practical, hands-on ability to do a task. And it could be something as comprehensive as data science and learning an entire new discipline, or it could be what we'll call a topper. So maybe you're already in the industry and you're mid-level management, but in order for you to get to that next level, you need to top up your skills, or you need to learn the latest and greatest information related to your discipline in Tableau or whatever the case may be. And so this is where practical hands-on skills training comes into play. And at the largest example of it would be sort of like the work that we're doing in Singapore today, whereas you're taking an entire country and partnering with government and workforce programs such that you are skilling and providing access to residents and creating tech hubs. So you're creating opportunity and economic mobility for people to be able to gain these tech skills so they can have the jobs as opposed to expats coming in because maybe there was no infrastructure before.
So let's give an example. Okay. So for instance, my team. All right. So let's say that I have, and I do, amazing team, amazing people, but I now need some AI skill or some tech skill that my team doesn't have. So I can go and try to find another employee with those skills, or I can help my team gain those skills. And I think that creates a win-win, right? Because now I continue relying on these amazing people that I have, but now I'm helping them to get more skills that hopefully they'll stay with me forever. But if they don't, those skills can be used elsewhere, but those skills are needed for me right now. So I love this win-win, and I want people to reach out to you to understand how an owner of a business or even a CEO of a business can give skills and talents, skilling his employees, and by that helping the company, the employee, just creating a big win-win. How many CEOs and leaders know this, that they can actually bring their people and give them more skills and knowledge?
Well, I think a lot know it, but maybe not a lot know how to activate it or where to prioritize or where to go. And look, there's a lot of options that are available out there. Everything from LinkedIn Learning to self-paced upskilling and skilling programs. But General Assembly and program providers that are like us are different in that we are instructor-led. And it is a really robust program. And oftentimes, when it's with a CEO like yourself, we're creating a program that's extremely tailored to you and your specific needs. Now, you gave the example of AI. And so, it could be very low fidelity where it is. Many organizations have benefits program where you have a set amount of dollars for professional development for employees. It could be where it's as simple as an employee taking a AI for productivity workshop. That's an actual workshop that we have. Let's learn different ways and mechanisms to make you more productive in your role using these skills, and have your employer be able to pay for that as part of you leveling up. In a more comprehensive version, you might take a company who's been operating a certain way for any number of years, right? And they are going through a dramatic transformation in their organization. And we see this all the time where companies are pivoting to a more online infrastructure, or maybe they're going cloud-based, or whatever the case might be for them. And they've got an entire way of working today that is not yet congruent with where they're going in the future. And this is where we get into custom projects to understand exactly what the employer is looking to do, what their future goals are, and then how we can equip their team members to be able to fill that gap such that they are prepared for where the organization is going. It is so much easier to take an employee and be able to skill them such that they can continue on with the organization than to have to find new talent and go through that whole process, right? We want to retain our employees. We want to retain the employees who built the company when we can. And so that is an example of what we partner with.
Anil has a question, and Anil is part of my team. Now, Anil is actually, I love Anil, and she's amazing. And she has a story that she became from a project manager into marketing. So Anil is asking, what key strategy would you recommend for professionals looking to level up their careers? And of course, particularly in marketing. So for someone that, Anil is an amazing marketer, but she moved to this field a couple of years ago from being a project manager. How would you recommend what strategies she can use to grow her skills in marketing?
Well, I'm going to always come back to the strategy of networking and surrounding yourself with people who are modeling whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. You knew I was going to say that, right? You just knew it. I'll take every opportunity to talk about that. And in terms of shout out to project management, I don't know how any marketing organization functions without a great project manager. So in terms of leveling up, I think there's, I'll certainly give a shout out and a plug to our own programs of, AI for productivity and all the myriad. By the way, we have free classes too. Free. I repeat, free. Classes that have free General Assembly, free classes that help you level up in all sorts of different domains within the tech sector, including things that are very relevant to marketers today. So don't forget to check that out. But I encourage everyone, first and foremost, to own your own professional development. Mm-hmm. You must recognize that you want to upskill and that you need to own that, and then seek out ways to help you get there.
Absolutely. So Anil, you're so welcome. Anil, listening to people like Jordan is how I grow. And I truly believe what Jordan says, it's all about bringing yourself with people that can kind of push you up. So cheers to all project managers to help us stay on task. Absolutely. I am the antichrist to a project manager. So thank you.
We are your type.
Entire heart, all project managers. So now let's talk a little bit about you. Okay. First of all, you're an incredible personality. You are full of energy. Every interaction you bring your best self to, which I admire. I try to do the same. I fail every now and then, but I'm getting better at it. So can you tell people, how do you grow your career? Because I've seen you grow so much in such a short time. How do you grow your career using networking, using LinkedIn? And what tips do you have for the people that are listening?
That is, I'm glad that you asked, and I have been reflecting on this a lot lately, particularly as I've been at General Assembly, and not only for myself, but just a side note, watching one of our students go from a Lyft driver to now being a software engineer at Lyft, and hearing his story. And
That's
the more I
so guys,
hear,
I want to say that again. So going from a Lyft driver to a software engineer at Lyft. What an amazing story. Sorry to
no, it's
interrupt. Go
right to
ahead.
underscore. It is right to underscore. It is why General Assembly exists, is that story, and it's that story each and every day, all day, every day. There are people like that. I would love to just tell you a little bit about my story, and I don't know how much I don't think I've shared this with you either. So I'll share it with you and the listeners today.
Exciting.
Why did I become a marketer? I'm going to tell you exactly why I became a marketer. I grew up in poverty. And you might look at me today and you'd say, oh, she's a chief business officer. She's accomplished so much, right? You just introduced me in the most lovely, accomplished way ever. But what people don't know until they get a chance to meet me a little bit is that I actually grew up in extreme poverty. I did not have power. I did not have water. I often would go to my next door neighbor's house after school to have a safe place to go and to have electricity and to take a shower. And every single day after school, my neighbor did not have cable, but she did have television, which was a bonus for me. And there was a show that was on every single day after school called Bewitched. And I don't know if anyone knows that show. I'm probably dating myself. I'm not 25 as I was introduced, but alas, I watched Bewitched every single day. And in that third grade little Jordan watching Bewitched, I saw a mom, a dad, dinner on the table, a yard, a house, a car, beautiful green grass, and a really safe environment. And I equated the patriarch of that family, who was an ad man. He was a marketing guy. And every episode was some shenanigans about this big campaign, this marketing campaign that he was trying to get ready for to sell the pitch or trying to come up with a creative idea or whatever the case was. And yes, his wife would use some of her powers to help him succeed and all that. But in my little mind, I equated, if you want all of those things, become an ad man. And in third grade, I made that decision, and I literally hung on to it for the rest of my life. And so I carried this thought of advertising as a way to create this life that I want for myself and to change my family legacy and to change of course, I would have never used socioeconomics, where I'm at, right? I would have never used words like that at the time. But what I knew was I needed a better life. I needed opportunity. I needed something that was going to bring me stability and a way to pay my bills and a way for me to drive impact and to feel really good waking up every single day. And so fast forward, I'm in high school, and all I know is that education is somehow the way out. No one else in my family went to college. It wasn't even something I could have discussed with them. It just wasn't even on the table for me in terms of financials. But I kept my grades up. I got lots of Bright Future scholarships and all those sorts of things. But I had such a gap. To be able to afford it. And so what did I do? Hello, copywriters. I wrote my story. Okay, this predates your, emails and blogs and all that. I wrote it on notebook paper, y'all. Notebook paper, okay? Hand wrote it on notebook paper. And I made photocopies at my local Office Depot. And I went door to door around the local businesses, and I knocked. Dentist office, optometrist office, the tax accountant. And here I am, this little, junior in high school, and I'm saying, hi, I live down the street. I'm trying to change my life. And I just said, please just read this. I won't take any more of your time. Just please read this. And essentially, I guess you could consider it the real life version of spam, but it was like solicitation. I was spamming the local businesses. But you know what? A lot of them would give me money and sponsor me. And so then I went off to college. I packed my stuff. By the way, I moved out when I was 14 years old. I started couch surfing just to get by until I could go to college. So I go to college, I get straight A's, and every single semester, going back to those writing skills and those marketing skills, my loyalty retention program, which I wouldn't have said at the time, but that's what I was doing. I would handwrite a thank you note back to all of those people who were sponsoring me. And I would say, I just want to say, I'm making good on that promise I told you. I am here, I am studying, I'm doing good, I have straight A's. Please consider giving me additional dollars so that I can have all 4 years. And that's what I did. And so I graduated advertising public relations in 4 years. I became an ad man, exactly like I set out to do. Now, all along the way, there's so much more to that story, and I know we don't have time to really get into it, but what I learned throughout that journey is A, the power of human connection. B, surrounding yourself with people who can help you get to where you need to go. And C, owning your path forward. And it really took all 3 of those things for me to get to where I'm at today. And yes, that I went into a career in marketing that I'm so extraordinarily proud of. And when opportunity came for me to work in the higher ed space, it just felt so right for me because, gosh, education is what led me here. And then when it was time for me to leave that organization and go into upskilling and reskilling, gosh, it couldn't feel more right because, boy, do I identify with changing your trajectory and changing the circumstance in which you're born into to have economic mobility. And so, yeah. And then one day I woke up and was a COO. And that did not mean that I suddenly spoke EBITDA and CapEx and OpEx and all of those financial terms that leadership talks about. So I found myself needing to upskill. That's what I had to do. Going back to what does upskill look like? It looks like that.
I think I just broke a record for the most amount of time I kept quiet on my own show. I got chills. You are incredible. I've heard small parts of this story, but I had people commenting they want you again. What an incredible story. This is why I think people connect with you so well. You're so genuine, you're so real, and you want to use your journey to help others. And this is such an inspiring story, Jordan. It's amazing. Now, can I share? I know you gave me a website you wanted to share. Is this a good time to share it?
Sure.
Let's add it to the stage and let me go to it. So explain to us a little bit and I'll scroll through as you're explaining. So this is your website, correct?
This is my website, jordanhathaway.com, Jordan with a U. Don't ask me why there's a U in there. I don't know. It does not belong there. It is JOURDAN. But this is my website. Okay. Please indulge me for those who are here for marketing. I'm so sorry that I have to go into a finance conversation, but I promise it will be relevant to marketers and to this conversation today, because it's not about the content per se. It is about upskilling and owning your own professional development and the power of networking along the way. So as I shared, I reached what I thought was, the coveted vice president of marketing position. Self 5, I'm so happy that I made it to this and I had fulfilled my lifelong dream of leading an extraordinary marketing department. And then I am really not only fascinated with marketing, but for everyone in here who also is relentlessly obsessed with the customer experience and figuring out every single thing you can do along the entire journey to increase the optimization rate or to make our jobs suck a little less by having a better workflow and optimization across our ways of working. I am like a magnet to those kinds of activities and tasks. I just think like an operator in addition to marketing. So I guess I'm a moperator, and I bet most marketers are that way too, or a lot of us marketers are that way too, a mopper, and mopping, cleaning up some mess along the way too, right? So anyway, I ended up transitioning to a COO position of a $200 million business unit, and found myself just weeks away from a board meeting, an executive leadership meeting. And wow, man, that first meeting, I realized so quickly I did not whatsoever understand the language of business, which is finance. I was speaking ROAS and, talk to me all day, every day about CAC and return on ad spend. But you want to talk to me about what's in my CapEx and OpEx, boy, I did not even know what that meant at the same time, or how to read a balance sheet or any of those kinds of things.
And can I interject for a second? Because I love what you do. A lot of times when people hear these EBITDA, these things that they don't understand, they don't want to feel stupid. So they just put their hand in the sand.
Yeah.
This is how you deal with it.
That was the total option. I had three options. Either do that of going, oh God, just put my head in the sand and hope that nobody noticed. B, chicken out and say, never mind, I'm not going to do this, and cave in to my insecurities that I wasn't fit for this role and this opportunity. Or C, seize the moment. But you guys know me by now, right? At least in the first couple of minutes here. So you probably know exactly what path I took. Now, because I'm a marketer and I'll never not be a marketer, I had to make professional development around finance a bit sexy, a bit interesting. So I coined my own phrase, Project FLAT, Financial Literacy Advancement Training, Project FLAT. And that concept came from flattening my own curve. I wanted to level the playing field so that I could earn a seat at that table and be able to contribute in a really, really meaningful way. So I did not at the time set out to think, oh, I'm going to publish this on my website and I'm going to do a playbook and I'm going to give you a downloadable thing to use for free. Again, free. I didn't set out to do any of those things, but because I'm a writer and because I'm a marketer and because I'm organized, again, shout out to project managers, I journaled every step of the way. And I took copious notes of my successes and my failures. And then when it was all said and done, I packaged it up and I put it on my website. And I share this only because I think it's really important to know that no matter what title somebody has, it doesn't mean that they're not going to extraordinary lengths to overcome a big roadblock or a big learning gap that they have. We all have that, no matter where we're at in our journey, C-suite included, right? I had a huge gap. So I did this whole self-assessment, and I will say that at the time, I was what I will call consciously incompetent. I was well aware that I did not know what I did not know as it relates to finance. So that was step one. This is not me saying this is the only way for you to do professional development plan, or this is the only assessment. No. It doesn't matter what you use. To me, it does not matter what you use at all. It's just the fact that you're doing it and that you're owning it. I did not wait for my manager to pull me aside and say, hey, Jordan, I noticed you were real quiet when we started talking about these financial terms. Is there a professional development program you'd like to do? No, I didn't do that. I recognized it in myself. And so that is the start of it. If you want to just scroll down, I talk a lot about owning your own professional development and why that is so very important. And lots of organizations and employers will help you do this. They will help you get these skills. And those are the organizations that we love to partner with. All right, now if you want to scroll down, I won't hit all of these things, but there's just a couple of points that I want to make, particularly as you go to step 4.
Step 4, network.
How'd you know? Network.
Oh, I've been reading your website, my dear.
Yep. Okay, so yes, I got a certificate program, best in class program for finance skills, and that was extraordinary. And I learned all the ins and outs of what I needed to learn at that point in time. I would not be where I'm at if I did not have that certificate program. So yes, I did a 12-week upskill program. Okay, but is that where I learned everything I needed to learn to be successful? No, it's not. If I were to really peel back what I think was the biggest catalyst for my growth, it's not that I did it in isolation by myself, head down just doing the program. And I think most people who go through programs, and why I love what we do at General Assembly and building community of learners, is the networking aspect along the way. So I don't think I could have just learned everything from one person or for one program. And if you want to scroll down to step 5, I just want to highlight one more thing.
Sure. Somebody just asked for the URL, so I moved screens, but yes, I am with you.
Yep.
This is hitting a lot of people. I can see a lot of people are asking for this URL, so this is working really well.
Well, that was the intent. I mean, not because I set out to know that I was doing it, but you know, there was actually a meeting that I did when I was early on in acquiring some of these new skills. And I remember the meeting where I was leading the conversation and I was using a lot of my new financial understanding. And there was a lot of things that did not go right. Didn't go right. And I actually copied a page out of my journal. It's posted there for you to see the literal notes that I took to myself on what I wish I would have said, what I would have done differently along the way. And, you know, my self-reflections and seeking feedback. Here's why I felt so comfortable in being able to reach out to other people that were on that meeting to seek feedback, because it was not, there it is. It was not a surprise to them, because I was very visible in the gap that I had, because I let people around me know, hey, this is something that I'm working on. Just so you know, I'm working on this right now. I would come out of a meeting, I would hear somebody talk about a topic, I would put time on their calendar. You guys, you'd be so surprised at how many people are willing to give you their time and energy if you simply ask. No one said to me, I don't want to give you any help at all. Nobody said that. Everyone said, sure, be happy to give you, 30 minutes of your time. It wasn't just so I could pick your brain without any objective, right? I made use of their time. I said, I'm working on this skill. I heard you talk about this concept. Here's how I think it applies to my business. Am I interpreting this financial language right? Is this how you would make the decision? Is this how you would assess it? Is this how you would analyze it? Okay, no. All right, give me some guidance. And then I would use that information the next time, and I would come back around to them and say, hey, thanks again for your time. By the way, I used some of that knowledge that you gave me, and I had a really productive meeting, and here's what the outcome was. People love to know that their time was made valuable, and they love to know that they're making an impact on anyone else. I know many of you here are mentors to other people, and many people ask you all to pick your brain, right? And I think there's something so powerful, not only for the person receiving this great new knowledge and insight, but for the person giving it too. So that's why I'm such a strong believer in networking and letting people know what you're working on so that they can help you achieve these kinds of goals.
I love it. And again, I'm not even needed here. We should just put you on to speak and go over your things. But I'm sure you're familiar with Simon Sinek, right?
Of course.
Really cool guy. I love his concepts. One of the things that he shared that really affected me is you don't build trust by helping others. You build trust by asking for help. So, Jordan, you and I are friends, all right? If you would have found out that I was struggling with something that you could just easily help me with, you would be pissed with me. It's like, Zev, come on, pick up the phone, okay? Like, what the heck? Aren't we friends? And that's what people need to understand. Ask and you shall receive. Your story is full of that. That's my favorite saying in the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. Every time I've asked you for something, you've never said no to me. Did you always say yes and do everything I want? No, but we found a win-win that you can help me, I can help you. Every time we got on a call together, it was positive and win-win. So I love it. And you practice what you preached. I learned in the military that there's two ways to lead. You can lead by example, or you can show people how not to lead, right? Those are the only two ways. And you learn from both. But you are such an amazing, whatever you preach, you practice. Now, I know there's a couple of other things you wanted to share. Is there more you want to share on Project Flat?
No, I'll leave it at that. hear that some people are having trouble finding the page. If you just go to jordanhathaway.com and you look on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's a little icon that says "Want to learn how I navigated." You'll see my picture, and it shows Project Flat. Yeah, right down below. If you
So
scroll down below,
let me copy this URL
or copy the URL and
for
share it.
everybody, and I will share it for everybody.
Yes. And again, the takeaway is not, this is the blueprint if you want to move from marketing to a, position where you need to learn finance. These steps apply to whatever the gap is that you have. You can take this and swap, finance for anything else. Make your own acronym. In fact, find me on LinkedIn and tell me what your acronym is. Nobody will celebrate that more than I will, because I'll know how seriously you were taking your professional development, but you're also making it fun and unique to you and your goals. And I just wish anyone who's listening to this the very best of luck and success in doing this. And do not be afraid to reach out to others around you, whether you've never had one single conversation with them or not. Put yourself out there and you'll be surprised on how many people will say yes.
Absolutely. Now let's unshare this. And I know we wanted to share one more thing. So you have some exciting news. So I know you guys at General Assembly are doing some incredible things. Oh, what just happened? We got music coming on from somewhere. This is just to make our conversation more exciting, right?
Oh yes,
you know where this music is coming from?
Never a dull moment.
Okay, I think we got it. All right, so the music has stopped. So now we are. What is going on?
Well,
this is never happened before. I have Zev interrupting me in the middle of my live.
You're interrupting your own self?
Yeah, very interesting. And I have nothing working.
Well, we'll while you're pulling that up, we'll roll with it.
So we'll have to reschedule you again to come in, and this was the most abrupt ending ever. But guys, thank you. Everybody, please reach out to Jordan. And Jordan, I'm gonna give you another interview in a couple of weeks just to make sure that this ending was not abrupt. But we just spent 40 minutes together. LinkedIn, thank you. Everybody, follow Jordan in the comments. This was one of the best lives we've ever had, and of course, technology is messing up right now. But I've enjoyed this immensely. Thank you, Jordan. And let us know, how can we reach out to you?
jordanhathaway.com, or find me on LinkedIn, and that is Jordan with a U.
All right. And we found a way to cut off this other live that was interrupting our live. That was super strange. People want more of you, my dear. This was great. I really, really enjoyed it. Everybody reach out to Jordan on her LinkedIn. Again, if you don't ask, you won't receive. Anybody that wants to reach out to you with questions, is LinkedIn a good address for them?
That's right. Jordan with a U.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for making this happen for us. Jordan, you're amazing. And I will bring you on again. And that ending, we won't have another live interrupt our live.
No problem. Hey, we roll with the punches. We're resilient. I mean, if anyone's going to be resilient through a couple of obstacles and roadblocks, it's your girl Jordan.
I don't know if people see the little bit of sweat I got going on, but I was like, all right, we fixed it. We fixed it. All right, guys. Bye, and we'll see you on our next live.